Bowmore 25, matured for a quarter century in Bowmore's #1 vaults, an old stone warehouse that sits on the edge of Loch Indal. But is the price tag worth it? Well, we're going to review it and find out. We got the Bowmore 25 Scotch whiskey. So this is the same age as the exclusive malts 25 year that I did 2 reviews ago. However, for some reason they decided to make this $500. Yeah, I know. So this is from Islay. This is an Islay single malt, and I'm not going to try and bring any bias into the equation here, but I love Bowmore. I fell in love with the Bowmore 18. So I saw this bottle listed at my whiskey store, and I asked a buddy, I said, hey, do you want to go halvesies on this? And he's like, yeah, let's go halvesies. I was like, sweet. So I didn't spend the full amount on it, but even half of this is still more than the 25-year, the exclusive malts. So we'll see if the price tag is worth it. We'll figure it out. You can see I already poured it out. I have not smelled this. I have not tasted this yet. This is all raw. I'm excited, but also kind of nervous because I don't want it to be terrible. But I love Bowmore. I think they're a great distillery, so hopefully this works out. So let's nose this. Oh, it has been a while since I've had an Islay, and Bowmore doesn't really heavily peat their whiskeys. I think they average out to about 25 ppms, which is pretty mild on the peat scale. But that smoke is really nice. This is matured in bourbon and Spanish sherry casks, so this is going to be like a smoky candy. There is a lot of nice little, there's some toffee, maybe a little bit of like leathery notes that's hidden with the sherry. I can smell. Oh my goodness. This is a really, I'm not going to call it, yeah, I will. This is kind of like a dark, malty, sweet nose with that little hint of peat on there, and it's not overbearing. It kind of just like blends in with it, and it makes it smell really nice. So I'm nervous for this sip, but we're going to do it. Actually, 1 second. This is a very nice copper color, and those are some slow legs. I'm expecting a nice oily mouthfeel on this. All right, moment of truth. Here we go. Oh man. So right there, really awesome peat. Right before I swallowed, I got a little bit of like grape notes. So we have some peat, some grape. This is actually 86 proof, 43% alcohol, so it's the same as the George Dickel. So it's not as, I think if it was a little bit of higher alcohol content, that palate might be a little better, but oh, that smoke is sitting there right now on my finish. Oh man, that was a very nice first sip. Oh, it's kind of like some dried fruits, and I'm getting on that now. That nice sherry sweetness is sitting there right on my tongue, and that is lasting for a while. This is probably one of the best finishes I've had in a while. Now, I tell you, my wife will not like this because of the peat. Now, it's not as peaty as some of the scotches that I've had, but I just know that before I even started doing YouTube stuff, she would smell my whiskey from across the room and be like, ew, what's that? It smells like a campfire. Well, this isn't quite a campfire, but it's definitely not peated. This is excellent right now. I also think I like Islas so much that I'm just gonna love most Islas that I drink, but this is nice. Let's do it again. Yeah, that whole bouquet of peat, leather, with some dried fruits and the sherry sweetness that sticks around after you swallow for about a minute or two. That's a very enjoyable experience. Now, they say on the back of their bottle that you should savor this slowly. So I will do just that because I only get half this bottle. My friend gets the other half. So if you're watching, you're going to like this bottle. I want to give it back to you. Now, nose-wise on the rating scale, I got to give that a 4. That is very good. The peat again just mixes in with the rest of the flavor notes on that, and it's a nice complex balance. Now, for the palate, I mean, geez. I don't want to just be the guy that's just all about Islas and whatever, but that's just my preferences. And just a little bit of a, like, disclaimer. I rate these based on my preferences and whether or not I think they're just good in general. So, obviously, my preference is towards Islas, so they'll probably get a little better of a rating just because I'm reviewing it. But that's a 4.5 on the palate. This is... The peat mixed with that sherry sweetness is, to me, one of the best experiences with whiskey. It's why I fell in love with the Bowmore 18. And that bottle is only $150. So you're paying an extra $250. That's not right, math. $350 for 7 extra years of aging. I'm not sure that's worth it as far as the price goes, but for the palate, this is awesome. I'm gonna sip again. Yeah, it's 4.5. Now the finish also gets a 4. You can sip this, walk away for about 5 or so minutes, and you're still getting those nice flavors off the finish. That is good. Now, value. This didn't blow me away, otherwise I would have gotten 555. For $500 though, you're looking at $300 more than the exclusive malts 25 that I had, and that's a 4.25. I think if it was like an actually like insane whiskey for $500, it would have just blown my socks off. So value-wise, I don't think $500 is worth it in the very least. So I hate to do this to you, but I think value-wise this is like a 2.5. I mean, yes, it's a well-known distillery. Yes, it's 25 years, but the experience isn't enough, in my opinion, to justify $500. I would not have bought this myself with just $500 single. No. The only way I did this is because I found a friend that just wanted to go halvesies with me. So, thank you, friend, for letting me review this. I'll give you half the bottle, I promise. But yeah, 2.5 on that value. It's still a wonderful whiskey. So if you have $500 to just throw away, bam. There's not many $500 bottle of whiskeys that are going to taste this good. The ones that I saw in my whiskey shop were like $600, $700. There's even like a $9,000 bottle of Michter's 25 on there, which I won't buy. So I'm going to do some more math and get back to you. Well, it's a sad day. The math works out to 3.75, which is not a terrible rating. But the only thing that killed it was the value. I just don't think they should be asking $500 for this. Everything else was wonderful. I just want to put that out there. If my rating system was just nose, palate, finish, very wonderful whiskey, it would have been what, 8, 12.5, would have been about 4, a 4 and change. And I think if they decided to put like even a 200, like, even half the price would have brought the value up here to a 4. Anyway, I like Bowmore. Should you buy this? You should buy this if you have the money to do it. Otherwise, go find some other whiskeys that you've seen on my channel. There's a bunch of those that are way more affordable than this. This is more of like an experiment. I just wanted to experience what this actually was. I've never had a bottle this expensive on my shelf before. So, all in all, good experience. This is actually good. Sorry about the value. Cheers. All right, it's time for my whiskey not loving wife to try an Islay whiskey with some flavor profiles she does not enjoy, which would be a little bit of the peat. So, you have been warned. However, I do know you like sweet things because you're married to me. So try not to just say I hate it already because you know it's from Islay and you know there's smoke in it. Yeah. Try and be a little bit of, what's the word, objective? Subjective? Don't know. Grammar's hard. Go for it.
I can already smell it from here.
Now, it's not that bad. It's only like 25 ppms, and just for reference, I have a couple of Octomores upstairs where they're about 130 ppms. Those are heavily peated. So 25 isn't a lot. And when you think about like Ardbeg and Lefroy, those are probably around 50 to 60 ppm. So as far as like the peat scale goes, this is pretty low. Just so you know.
Okay.
Give it a sniff.
Okay.
Just not a good look already. You don't have now. You don't have to like it. You don't have to. But this is all for experimentation purposes and a little bit of brevity.
Okay.
Okay. She's holding a lot of stuff back right now, so I'm just gonna ask you, how bad do you hate it? All right, she doesn't like it so much she can't talk. And as we know from the exclusive malts, she at least was able to say she hated it. So at least she doesn't hate it so much she says she hated it, right?
It burns.
It burns.
Yeah. I don't
It's
like
less alcohol than the exclusive malts. Exclusive malts was 50%. This is 43, like I said. So there's just nothing redeeming about
it.
it.
It's like sitting on my tongue.
That's the finish. How good is that finish, though?
It's not
You just suck some flavors off your tongue while you're sitting throughout the day, the evening tonight, right?
And you enjoy this.
It's amazing. Yes. Yes. The only thing that I didn't like about this bottle was the the price point. So, okay. Well, I guess it didn't pass the wife test, but as we know, it passed the me test, and that's all that really matters because I have the collection and she does not. So. That's a weird face that she's giving me there, and whatever. Hey, cheers. Oh, actually, there's no wheel today. This is one of these one-off reviews. I'm gonna be doing more of these. So I have this like consecutive review I'm doing with like do a review and then the wheel and then do the next review. But there's gonna be a couple of these trickling in. That's just not part of that like little series. But it's going to be either expensive ones that I don't want to like game with and gorge myself on, or just whiskeys that I've had for a while and don't have enough in them yet to just drink a whole lot of it. I only have like 1 dram left to just do a review. So, no wheel today, but cheers, see you next time.